Hey guys, this is Paul. So today I cleaned my bookshelves and I dusted my books. And I thought, hey, why don't I do a video about how to take care of your books? So here it is. These are all just recommendations. You can treat your books however you want to treat them. If you want to eat a bunch of food on top of them, if you want to dog ear every page, if you want to just throw your books around, that's up to you, because they're your books. But this is just talking about books that you want to keep nice and pristine. You want to keep your library looking good. And I'll be honest with you, I am a little bit older. I'm 33, so I have seen some of the books that I bought when I was 18 and 19, and they look bad. Okay? So take it from me. 10 years from now, if you're not taking care of your books, they will look bad, and I'll probably have to rebuy some of these books in the future, but, you know, new cover art, so that's a plus. Well, anyways, this is how you should be taking care of your books. First up, when you read a book, what should you do? Number one, you need to have clean hands, right? Clean hands. Wash your hands. So if you're out there working in the garden, or if you're at the shop working on cars and you come home and you grab a book to read, make sure your hands are nice and clean. And also, when you're cooking, if you're cooking in the kitchen and you're running back and you're reading a book while you're cooking, whew, yeah, that's not good. You know, don't eat while you read. Unfortunately, I do this once in a while, and I need to stop doing it, because there's nothing worse than getting like that chocolate stain on that page of that book, you know? Okay, so don't use big bookmarks like the ones that have like metal in it. They can damage the book when you close the book. And don't leave a book open face down to save your place like this, like that. That is the worst possible thing that you can do to your book. It will destroy your spine, and especially if you don't pick that book up. So if you lay that book down like that and it's there for a couple of days, that spine is pretty much ruined. Okay? And remove the bookmarks after you're done reading. The bookmark itself might be aesthetic, and it might hurt the pages of the book. Don't dog ear your books. Once again, these are all just recommendations. If you want to do any of these things, it's up to you. Okay? 100 degrees is the most you should open your book. Obviously, with paperbacks, you should never fold the cover back onto itself. That will, oh wow. I have this, wait, let me go grab this book real quick. Okay, I just have to show this book. I bought this before I bought the trade paperback. I bought this at Goodwill. This is Wise Man's Fear, and look at this spine. Look at that thing. You know why it's like that? Because the person that read this book like this. Okay? So yeah, if you want your book not to look like this, then no, don't do that. Okay? Hold the book with both hands when you read it, or you can like kind of cradle it in your lap if you like to sit up while you read. If you're going to the beach with your book, just be prepared that your book's going to get destroyed. As simple as that. If you're taking the book to the beach, it will get destroyed. Okay? I live near the beach, and I have to show you this other book. I gotta get that one. Okay, so this is a good example why you should not take your book to the beach. I read this when I was a teenager. This is Dragons of Summer Flame, the Dragonlance book. And look at this book. It is so beat up. It is so discolored. It has the water stains. The book itself is all warped. Look at that. That's why you don't take your books to the beach. Or, if you do, it'll probably get ruined. And this tip, honestly, it changed everything for me. I would read my hardback books, and the dust jacket would always get wrinkly at the bottom because I would put the book like on my chest while I'm reading it, right? Like when I'm laying down. And then like after I'm done reading, the bottom of the dust jacket was all wrinkly and maybe even had little micro tears. And someone said to me, why don't you just remove the dust jacket when you read the book? And then when you're done with the book, put the dust jacket back on. Completely changed my world. So yeah, take your dust jacket off when you're reading, put it back on after you're done. Okay, so storing your books on your bookshelves. Keep books away from direct light. Don't have it close to your window, your bookshelves close to your window so that the light shines in and hits your bookshelf. Make sure like it's not very humid as well. If it's in a room that's very humid, like a I don't know, like a breakfast kitchen off thing where rich people have that. I don't know. You guys might have one. Yeah, it's probably not a great place to keep your books. Okay? Don't put them near radiators. Don't put them near like air conditioner, stuff like that. Okay, put books of the same height together. A tall book next to a short book will put uneven stress on the book. So, for example, I have this Steinbeck book, and then I'll use this Ruskus book. Like, if I put these two things on a shelf, and that shelf is tight, it'll warp the Steinbeck book, the spine of the Steinbeck book. Keep spines aligned so that some of the books aren't pushed back further than the others. Same thing, if the shelf is too tight and you have one book back a little bit more than the other, it'll put an uneven amount of pressure on the wrong part of the book. Books should not be too tightly packed or too loose. You should be able to push the two books on the side of the book you want, and only those two books would move, or push like one book back and only that one book will move. If you're pushing a book back and a bunch of books move while you're pushing one, that means it's too tight. However, if your books are leaning at all on your shelf, that means your bookshelf is too loose. So sometimes one book will be ruined, like just damaged, and it'll lean just a little bit, right? But then that makes all the other books lean, and so then you have the entire bookshelf of leaning books, and after about 10 years, every book on that bookshelf will have a warp to it. So just be careful with that. Play with the order of books a little bit. Sometimes you can put certain books elsewhere, and then they won't lean as much. When you go to grab a book, do not grab it from the top, like especially if there's a dust cover. You don't grab it from the top like this. You can grab it from your shelf because sometimes you might rip that top part. Okay? Pull it out from the middle of the book. If you have to, push the two books on the side and then pull it out from the middle. Try not to store your books horizontally like this. If you have to, because of room, I mean, I've seen so many booktubers' bookshelves now. Everyone has their books stacked horizontally somewhere. Once in a while, change the position of the book. So say if this is on the bottom, another book's on top, just put the other book on the bottom and this one on top. And of course, put like the heaviest books on the bottom. Okay, so dust your bookshelves at least once a year, if not more, if your house is really dusty. Causes of dust. A nearby window is open. You don't clean your sheets very often. Your bed sheets, like if you don't clean them often, it'll create more dust in your room. Clothes that are scattered around in your room. Like I have like a bunch of hoodies hanging up in my room, in the corner of my room. I really shouldn't have them there. Also, make sure your closet doors are closed because dust would come from your clothes that are in your closet. If the doors are closed, the dust can't get out. And make sure you vacuum your floor often, you know. Okay, if you have to dust the top of your books because they're dirty, use a very, very mildly damp cloth and push the dust from the spine towards the end of the open part of the book. Okay, so here's the spine. You want to dust like this, down like that. never up and down like that. That'll just push the dirt into the book, and never up towards the spine. That'll just push it towards the spine. Alright, and the last thing is, if you want to keep a book as a collectible book, say you have the first printing, or you have a signed book, and you want to read that book, just buy a reading copy of that book. Buy the paperback. If you're at the thrift store and you see like the book there of the book that you have that's signed, and it's like $1.50, just get the backup book, you know. That's their reading copy. You can do whatever you want with that. Like this, The Wise Man's Fear. I have this book in hardback and trade paperback, so I can do whatever I want to this book. Doesn't really matter because I have the other copies. And then e-readers too. If you want to keep your Brandon Sanderson signed Way of the Kings book, buy the e-book. It's like $3. It's not a big deal. And sometimes they even give those books away for free. So, there you go. Okay, so this has been how to take care of your books and what to do with your books and things like that. I hope this was entertaining and also informative. It was informative for me. I did some research on it. I'm going to really take care of my books much better than what I have been. And, like, listen guys, I'll say this again. You might think that your books are fine right now, but after like 10 years, and especially after moving a lot, or you having to just like store the books somewhere, the books will get bad. So just make sure you think ahead and plan ahead, because they will eventually not look that great. The covers will mess up. They will get yellow. You know? I mean, it's okay for a lot of people, but if you want to keep your books in pristine condition, these steps I gave you, go ahead and follow them. If you have your own steps of how to keep track of your book, how to clean your books, put them in the comments below. Let me hear what you think about this video. Comment, like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.